Good morning, one and all. Let us start with second unit, a new topic, linked list. So this is another category of data structures. Linear data structures we have already seen. So in the category of linear data structures, again we have sequential and linked list data structures. So under linear category we have sequential data structures, we have linked list category. So here if you consider the sequential data structures, if you see that with the sequential data structures they are not efficient enough in giving the performance with some situations, then only we are going for this linked list. What is that? Performance drawbacks. There are two limitations with the sequential data structures like arrays. The two limitations are two limitations of sequential data structures. First limitation is that inefficient in performing insertion and deletion operations. Inefficient in performing insertion and deletion operations. And the second one is inefficient use of storage management. So these are the two limitations with the sequential data structure like arrays. In order to eliminate or avoid these two limitations, we have to go for linked list. But before that, we have to discuss how this sequential data structures are inefficient in performing insertion, deletions and performance of storage management. That we'll see with examples. Now take some example for the linear data structure array. So for suppose if you take an array like this with some 10 elements, if this is the data in your array linear sequential data structure. Now if you want to insert some data 20 at position 3. So if you observe this data structure here, at position 3 there is already one data item. Now if the requirement is to insert 20 into this 3 position, what we have to do is that either like we can find the first solution as all this neighboring data values, they have to be shifted to right to make this particular location empty. So like that can be visualized like this, and this third location can be made empty, and data movement or data shifting has to takes place. So this particular data shifting or data movement, it is expensive. Computationally it is more expensive. This is one way. And the second possibility is that taking a temporary array. Have to use another temporary array, and these values should be shifted into that array to see that this particular location is empty. So if this array is A, another temporary array B should be taken, and B with the same size, and as it is array, contiguous memory is allocated for it. Now what we'll do is that here this third location, as we want it as empty, so we'll shift the first 3 elements, we'll copy here, and this third location will keep it empty, and then we'll copy the 16 216 and 218. So that this location is made empty, it is possible to insert this 20 here into this. So here also additional memory unnecessarily, in order to manage the operations with one array with size 10, we need another array of memory, which is more expensive for the computations. This is one thing. And coming to the deletion operation. Once these things have been shifted here, now if you want to delete this particular element 18 from the array, so after deletion here, if you delete this element from the main list, again in the temporary array it should be updated, modified for the next insertion operations, because here these locations are made empty. In this way, this deletion operation also, it is not that efficient with respect to your linear data structures. And coming to the second one, second drawback of your linear data structures is that it is inefficient with respect to the effective memory management. How it happens is that if you consider your storage, hard disk storage like this, and there are blocks of memory, and here maybe some memory got utilized and there is some space, and again memory got utilized. This boxes with lines there indicating some data is already filled there, and the empty spaces showing the space left. So like this, already your memory is getting utilized. So here, with respect to our array data structure, it is demanding us to allocate only contiguous memory locations. For that reason, what will happen here is, here we will be allocating contiguous memory locations, which is leaving some memory fragments in the storage, which is ineffective to allocate the memory spaces to any other data structure also. So here this second limitation of your linear data structure, it is fragmentation of the memory, which is a performance drawback with the array data structure, sequential data structures. So in order to avoid this sort of drawbacks with the sequential data structures, we have to go for linked list. So what can be our linked list now? So linked list can be defined as, it is a linear data structure with list of nodes. It can be your linear data structure with list of nodes, wherein every node will have two fields, and one is data field or data item field, and the second one is address field or link field. So it can be defined as, linked list is a linear data structure with list of nodes. Every node is having two fields. One field is the data field and the second field is the link field. So you can see it as data item fields and the linked fields like this, and there can be multiple data item fields and multiple linked fields with the different nodes. So under linked list, we have three categories of linked list we can find. One is singly linked list, doubly linked list, circular linked list. So among which now in this class we will see singly linked list and the operations how we can perform on singly linked list. The singly linked list can be defined. It is a linear data structure with list of nodes wherein each node is defined with one or more data fields and one link field. What is that? Data field and link field. Data fields, there can be one or more values following node structure. Okay, so we can visualize the node structure like this, wherein two fields, again among the, this is data field, this is link field or address field. This data field may contain more than one data items. This can be data item 1 or data item 2. Coming to this link field or address field, which is used to refer to the address of the next nodes. This consists the address of the next nodes. Okay, so this is the structure for a node in a single linked list. But for our usual assumption, we will take the default node structure with one data item and one link field. But as per the definition, there can have more than one data items consists in the fields, but only one link field. As it is one link field, the name has come singly linked list. So coming to defining the code structure for our node. Defining the code structure for that, we have to use a structure concept. So using structure concept, it is struct. We want to create this new structure node named as node. So let us take the name of this structure also node. And how many structure members are here? Two structure members are here. This is character data item and this is address to another node. As it is address, we have to use pointers here for defining this second field of the node. Coming to the first field, it is character data item. So we can define data type as character and we can name it something like data. And coming to the second one, it is an address. So you have to use a pointer. And while defining the data type of this address, actually we already know that if it is something for some integer data, int a, and a is referring some 10 value, in order to refer a pointer which has to refer this a value, so it should be, again you have to define a pointer with the same integer type. Using this pointer you can refer to that particular data value. So here this particular address we are going to use to refer to a structure following a node structure. Okay, so it is that this address referring to the same structure, same node structure. So what I mean to say is that the data type of this particular link field, it is first of all it should be a pointer, then the data type of it should be the same node structure. It is called as self-referential structure. So here we'll get struct node. This link field should be of type struct node itself because it is going to refer a node here. Okay, so this is how the structure can be defined for the node. Now we'll see performing operations on singly linked list. First of all, let us take a singly linked list with some 4 data values A, B, C, D, and A to B it is connected, B to C, and C to D. That is, A node is having the address of B and B node is having the address of C, like that. So singly linked list, we can see its structure. This is the first node. So assume that it is having a pointer start and it is having the data item A and this link field. And how many nodes we'll get? 4 data items we have. So 4 nodes will get. So this is B, and as I have already told you, A node is having the address of B and B node is having the address of C data item, and C node is having the address of D, and D is the last node. So the last node address, it is not referring any other node, so the address here gets stored as null. So here in the singly linked list, in the linked list, we can observe that first node is referred with. We can differentiate the first node whose initial pointer is start, and we can easily differentiate the last node which is having the link field as null. Coming to our operations, consider your insert operation. Inserting a new node into the list. Actually, we took the limitation there. Inserting a new element in all the positions, it is degrading the performance of the linear data structure. But wherein linked list data structure, it is more supportive. If a new node has come to insert at any location, it is an efficient, it is an easy operation we can perform on it. So we will consider the situation to insert a new data item F after B or in the middle of the list. Okay. So if you consider F to insert, it is in the middle, like here. If you have to insert this there. So what needs to happen? Here you have to insert your F node. Okay. So after inserting this F after B, how the linkages should happen is B has to address F node and F node has to address C node. How it happens is, in the B address location, instead of having the address of C, we have to maintain the address of F into B, and this F node needs to contain the address of C. Like this, we have to store the address of F into B and we have to store the address of C into F. We have to break this relation between these two nodes, so that what happened is we could able to insert F in between B and C. This is one possible case of insertion. Another case of insertion is that inserting a new node at the begin of the list. So assume that it is some X you want to insert the begin. This is at the middle we have seen. So begin. So here we have to insert it. So how it is possible? Now after inserting this X node before A, already like this A is having its significance as it's having the start pointer. Now what we have to do is that the start pointer, now it has to refer to our new node, and this X node needs to maintain the address of A in its link field. So two things here we need to perform. X address location or this link field should contain the address of this first node. That is one step we have to perform, and our start pointer should refer to this X. So by performing these two steps, we can insert a new node at the beginning of the single linked list. Coming to the third case, at the end. At the end of the list, it is that here you want to insert. So now what we have to do to insert this new node here, earlier D is not having any further nodes, that's why its address location is referring to null. So in order to make this Y as the next node of D, D address or D link field should contain the address of this Y node in its address field. Then now this Y has become the last node of our list. To give its significance, the last node address field should contain null in it. So this is how the third case of insert operation you can perform. Then coming to deletion. How do you delete? So if it is the begin node, how do you delete? This is A. A you have to delete. So after deleting this, your start pointer should shift to the next one. This, like initially what you have to do is that the start pointer, it should be shifted to the next and you have to free this particular node. There are the two steps. And end node, if you see that, you have to delete this last node. Here you have to make, like, first of all this last node you have to refer and you have to free this particular node and you have to make the link field of C to be made as null so that this cannot be referred in the next iteration. And in the middle, if you see, assume that this node is also there. To consider this middle node, this C is the middle node to be deleted. In order to delete this particular C node, address of B in the future, it should not refer C, it should directly refer to D. For that, address of D, whatever is already there in the link field of C, that should be stored into address of B node. So once this particular address is stored here, this particular node we can free it. This is how deletion in the middle node can be performed with single linked list.